The views and opinions expressed on this podcast is solely of the creator, host, co-host, and guest. It may not necessarily reflect the views, thoughts, or opinions of the listener or viewer. Listener discretion is advised. In the twilight's hush, where shadows dance and silence reigns, lies a realm both feared and fascinating, the cemetery. Or, as our guest and Dalen's Graveyard Shift family calls, resting communities. Cities of the dead, gardens of people, lives lived, and stories whisper through weathered stones and forgotten names. Tonight we venture into sacred grounds, seeking voices from the beyond, but in a fun way. Join me, your host Melanie, as we dive into the unknown, tombstones and tales. We unravel the mysteries hidden among the headstones. Welcome to Explain Strange Podcast. Hey guys, welcome back. We're here with CFanns, Spiritbox from YouTube. Chris, introduce yourself to everybody.
Well, hello. My name is Chris. I have the YouTube channel, CFanns Spiritbox. Go to the cemeteries. We speak to spirits, play games, just have a good time. See who wants to talk, and we're always willing to listen.
And what part of the world are you spirit boxing from?
I'm from Rhode Island.
Nice. So you have a lot of old historical places that you like to visit.
Oh yeah, there's like 3 cemeteries, probably 10 minutes from my house.
Me too. I'm in Ohio, in rural Ohio. So I have 3 in my little town that I like to frequent all the time as well.
Nice.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about the different techniques of the spirit box sessions that you conduct with the different tools that you use?
Yeah, we got the spirit box. Obviously, spirits can talk through that. I use a motion detector that they walk in front of it, and it'll make a noise and light up, and I have a cat ball that lights up if they touch it. And I also use a digital recorder, try and catch EVPs.
And have you caught any EVPs before?
I feel like there might be something there, but sometimes you hear stuff just because you want to hear it.
Yeah, I get that. And if you could pick one place to tell a story of a person that you kind of frequent a lot while you're out there, who would you tell us about?
Well, it's not really a person, but I have one cemetery I go to a lot. I call it the headquarters. It's a lot of old people, cemetery headstones there. It's probably the oldest one I go to. It's called Elder Baloo Cemetery. It's on Elder Baloo. I've probably been there the most.
And what's the oldest headstone that you've seen there?
Hundreds, I want to say.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
I
incredible.
actually
They're not that old here.
did one. I just did one. I released it uh, before Thanksgiving. It was the 1600s, 687, I want to say.
Wow. So the Mayflower. They were
Yeah,
on the Mayflower.
they were on the
Yeah, I did
Mayflower.
watch that one. That was a really good session. I was proud of that one. And with the Spirit Box, do you like using the apps or do you like using the actual radio frequency scanner?
I use that. Find that I get enough responses with that. Some stuff is obviously we know it's programmed into the app, but when you get direct responses to the questions you ask, sometimes I'll ask for a number and I get a number, or ask for a name and you get a name. So
Yeah, it's pretty incredible with the responses they can get. They seem pretty intelligent, and that's what really like gets me. It's like, what do you think they are? Like, do you think they are what they were, or have they become like part of the spirit realm and kind of intelligent in a way, beyond their years in a way? What do you
yeah,
think?
I think they're pretty intelligent. I did ask one time, can you learn from watching the living? And I got quite a few yes responses from that.
Cool. Do you have a personal thought on the afterlife? Now, I go to like the one of the 3 of the cemeteries I go to. One is Catholic, and I've noticed that the religion preference based on the Catholic cemetery, they're all like really sad there versus the one that isn't just one religion. What do you think about that? Is it like a religious preference on how the ghosts perceive us and want to talk to us?
There could be. I could see how that could be perceived that they might want to talk to someone they're more related to with their religious beliefs. I guess sometimes you do get more sad responses, and when it's a wide variety of people there, they seem different.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get that. What was your favorite place that you've been to in the past 2 years?
Favorite place? I went to the Medfield State Hospital. I walked around there. Couldn't get inside no buildings. They're all boarded up. That place was pretty cool. And I just did one probably a couple weeks ago where I was interacting with an 8-year-old child. I had my motion detector out and I put the cat ball out, and he wouldn't do anything when I was there. But I said, all right, I'm just going to leave this stuff here. I'm going to continue walking around. And every time I would leave, the motion detector would go off. So I had to run back and then it would stop. So did it like 3 or 4 times. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And do you get like a lot of children spirits that kind of are interested in what you got going on? Or do you think they kind of shy away until they get to know you?
I feel like that sometimes they can be pretty shy.
Mm-hmm.
Like they kind of step back, and then as I'm sitting there, maybe like 20, 30 minutes, you start to get more responses and interactions, start to get comfortable. The more times you go to the cemetery, they get to know you.
Yeah, you kind of have to build like a reputation with the
Yeah.
ones that you go to
Build
a
a
lot. Yeah.
reputation, build up the trust, become become it's like becoming friends over time.
Yeah, the one I go to, there's a certain spirit. I know I'm thinking he's a teenage boy. His name's David and he always comes through. Do you have like something like that? Like it's hard to explain. It's like every time I go, I always get a certain name and it's like but I can't find their headstone and it's like they're not showing me where they're at.
I have one that it's a lady called Ruth. She comes through a lot, but I think I actually did find her headstone one time at the old cemetery. That I found one that said Ruth Ballou, I want to say. So I was like, "Hey, Ruth, is this you?" And I sat there, had a conversation. She comes through a lot.
Do you kind of like have a picture of what she looks like in your head when you talk to her?
Kind of just generic, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know if you had like a little like since being out in the cemetery, being around, that kind of place, do you start to develop psychic powers, like sensing things that are there that you can't see?
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes you feel like there's someone standing behind you. Turn around, there's nobody there. Sometimes I'll ask, "Hey, are you behind me?" And they'll be like, "Yeah." And I'll be like, "All right,
Hmm.
come on, come close, come join the conversation."
Yeah. Kind of invite them in, like, hey, come on, don't be a creeper. Now, what got you into doing the spirit box sessions? Were you like into ghost hunting or urban exploring before this?
I've kind of always been into the paranormal since I was younger. I grew up watching Ghost Hunters on TV. They're also from Rhode Island.
Hmm.
And then I did started doing the spirit boxes after I saw Dalen do it, and I said, "Hey, that's pretty cool. I want to give that a try." So I tried it, and here we are today, still going.
Yeah, and you do really good. Like, I love watching your videos. I find myself like after I edit a couple of mine, eating lunch, I'm like, oh, we'll see what CFanns is doing today, and it's always amazing. I always
Thank you.
enjoy your video. Now, before you did the graveyard stuff, was there a place or haunted location that was on your bucket list of places to go investigate?
Just like Penhurst and all the ones that you see it on TV and stuff. I'd love to go there one day. Besides the
Would you have
graveyards,
any plans to go into like the Paracon that's at Penhurst?
that would be pretty cool. I'd love to
Yeah.
one day try and make it out there.
Yeah, me
When I
too.
was
Like, yeah.
when I was probably like 18 or so, I went to California with my cousin Jay, who I've spoken to on this channel, and we went to the Queen Mary. So that was pretty cool.
Did you get any experiences there?
We did kind of have one experience where we heard a door slam and we were the only people around. That was the only experience that we had.
Ever heard a disembodied voice while you're out there doing your videos?
I felt like I heard it once when I was talking. I felt like there was somebody talking right inside of me. But yeah, there was nobody there.
It's kind of weird how disembodied voices happen. It's like you don't know exactly where it came from. It feels like it
Yeah.
comes from everywhere. It's kind of
Yeah.
unsettling. Now, since you mentioned Dalen, do you use the same Sono spirit
Yeah.
box that he uses?
The same
Now,
one.
you get the same guides that he's got, like Mary Ellen, Walter.
Yeah, I've heard those come through. Yep.
Now, what do you think they are? Do you think they're programmed into the Sono and maybe they're trying to say their name, but it's like the closest thing to their name?
It could be. I don't know. Maybe it could be that, or they could really just be spirit guides out there to help other spirits. I've had asked when someone says I'm stuck, and I've asked for them to come through. They have come through. So
Yeah, and I don't use the Sono because I don't have an iPhone, so I use the SB7, the radio sweeper
yep.
thingy, and Walter comes through. And I'm
Ah.
like, "What are you doing in Ohio, dude?" But Walter's the only one that I've had come through, and I think that's really interesting.
That's interesting. Different devices,
Yeah.
same name.
Yeah, different devices, same name. That's really cool. I'm glad I got to talk to you about that. Now, is there any tools that you'd be open up to willing to try in the future? Like maybe, do you have like a music box or anything like that?
I was thinking about it. I was actually just looking up music boxes probably like a couple hours ago.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, maybe I should get a
Cool.
music box or a REM pod. I've been thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, REM pods are really fun to have out there. The one thing that I had just picked up was a Flux 2 response device, that little triangle with the red
Yeah,
light and the green light. That thing goes nuts out there in the cemetery. But I try to use it in my house to like get like a conversation. They won't use it in my house. And I've tried to like debunk it, like what if it's a bug flying by it, but I've debunked that several times.
yeah, nice.
What do you do when you get scared?
I just try and kind of fight through it. I've been the only times I've really been scared was I did it at night a couple times, and I'm not really scared
Mhm.
of the spirits. It's like you don't know if there's somebody walking up on you. And there
Mhm.
was one time that my subscribers they bring it up every once in a while. I got scared from a rabbit because it came running out from behind a headstone, and I didn't know it was there. Kind of scared me a little bit. So
Yeah, we have like problems out here where you could run into like mountain lions and black
oh
bears. So some of the cemeteries I can't go into at night and during certain times of the year because of mating
yeah,
seasons. So
yeah.
I totally understand. A rabbit would probably scare me too. It really would. Now, do you ever have like friends that you bring on your shifts with you that are not into this kind of thing and they kind of believe afterwards?
No, I've only gone out by myself. I tried to get my wife to go out with me a couple times, but she's like, "I'll just stay back." But one of these days, I'm gonna get her out there.
Yeah, usually my husband comes and picks me up from my shifts. Like usually when it's dark, he's like, "Hey, it's time to go. The cops are going to be doing their patrols." And I'll
Yeah,
have the spirit box tell me, "He's here. Your husband's here. He's coming." So they
nice.
kind of warn me.
Looking out for you.
Yeah, they're looking out for me. I hope they do that if I get busted out there at night. Like, "Hey, here comes the cops."
Yeah,
Now, older headstones, do they have any kind of like certain symbolisms on them, like peace lilies or weeping willows or hands
yeah.
pointing up?
I've seen all those. Seen the hands
Really?
pointing up. I've seen the whipping willows. Yeah, I've seen.
Now, do they ever mean anything that you know of?
I don't know. I'm not sure what they mean, but I've seen a lot of them. I've
Yeah,
seen
I
the
have too
the,
lately.
the Freemason sign. Seen a couple of
Mhm.
those. So yeah,
It's definitely interesting. It's like I wonder, like the tree trunk, like I see like tree trunk headstones a lot,
yeah.
and
I've
like
seen a couple
some
of
people are
those.
like in a whole family of tree trunks. I'm like, what are all these tree trunks about? I didn't know
Yeah,
if they were like lumberjacks or something.
yeah. I've seen a
But yeah,
couple tree stump headstones. I don't know what
yeah, I
they
think
mean.
those are really unique. Maybe like life cut short, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. That's something to look into for sure.
I've seen a couple headstones that are like they look like a house. It's shaped like a house that has windows on it and everything. That's pretty interesting.
Do you think they're for like a little girl, maybe?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I brought a little stuffed animal. I can't remember what her name was. It was like over a year ago, but she seemed to really like the stuffed animal. I asked her what it was. It was a dog. She was like, "It's a dog." So pretty cool interaction we had there.
That's awesome. Do you believe that animal spirits are a thing too, like in a pet cemetery or even without a pet cemetery?
Yeah, definitely. I actually said this on my channel one time when I was like 10 years old. I was sitting at a picnic table and I saw a dog walking up to me. And when I looked up, the dog wasn't there. And I didn't really think too much of it until I told my sister about it. And she said the same thing happened to her at the same spot. So I was like,
Oh,
well,
wow. That's interesting. Yeah, it makes you wonder if like our past pets that, that we had when we were children are always with us. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I always
yeah.
wonder that. I definitely wonder that. Now, when you go out in the cemetery when it's cold outside, how can you determine whether it's, like a presence of a cold spot? That was one of the questions somebody wanted me to
Yeah,
ask you because they in the cemetery when there was snow out and you were making snowmen with
yeah,
that.
yeah. I did that. I don't know. Just kind of, it's all cold, so I don't know.
Do you have any advice for us to stay warm while we're out there shifting in the cold?
I don't know. Everybody tells me to wear gloves, but
Sometimes
so
it's hard to wear
wear
gloves, when you have to hit the buttons.
wear gloves and wear a winter hat. And I'm like, yeah, a winter hat covers my ears, so I want to hear.
Yeah, that's true. I guess shifting ain't easy sometimes when the weather's
Yeah.
bad. Now, do you think like big storms, like the hurricanes that blew in, do you think they kind of elevate all that spiritual activity in the cemeteries?
Yeah, I think that could happen. It gives a lot of energy out there. I've been out there when a thunderstorm was supposed to come in like the next day. Asked them if that energy helps them communicate, and I definitely got more interactions that day than a normal day. So I think
Yeah,
the energy
I
from
tell.
storms, I think it helps them out.
I think it amps them up in some kind of way. They can feed off of the energy.
Yeah.
Now, with Halloween and the veil being thin, did you feel any difference during that time of period when you were out there shifting that it was more active?
Yeah. I think that helps them and makes it easier for them to communicate. And yeah, it's definitely a little bit easier. I feel like maybe they're a little more comfortable.
Yeah. Now, do you have any future plans? Do you keep on wanting to do the graveyard shifts or do you want to like branch out and travel?
If I could make the time, I'd like to travel, go to different places, stuff, but don't always have the time right now with my job and stuff. But one day that would be the plan. Make this full time and be able to travel, go different places.
Yeah, I think that's the ultimate goal for all of us is to quit our jobs and just do this paranormal stuff full time because it's like our passion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Seeker Squad. Where did Seeker Squad come from?
Actually, it came from my subscribers because I was like, I feel like we need a name for ourselves, so I just put it out there. I was like, if you guys have any names, put in the comments of the video, and I'll see which one gets like the most likes or whatever. Secret Squad was the one.
That's awesome that your fans kind of name themselves.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love that Seeker Squad. I think it's adorable. Well, Chris, I think we've had this amazing interview with you. Did you have any other topics of conversation that you wanted to touch before we kind of wrap this up for the day?
No, I thought this was very interesting and fun.
Yeah, it's all kind of an experiment. We're like a new podcast and we're kind of like doing roundtable discussions with people of the paranormal. And eventually we're going to have Dalen Spratt on this. We're going to have him on here. We're
It'll
going to make
happen
him
one
sit
day.
down and
It'll
yeah,
happen
that's
one
our
day.
goal.
Definitely.
We're going to manifest that stuff. Well, this has been a great conversation. And I just want to say I'm a huge fan of yours and you are doing a great job and keep it up. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. That was our interview with Chris Fans from CFanns Spiritbox on YouTube. We will put a link in the description of this video, and we hope that you guys enjoyed it. I know it's a short interview, but it was kind of impromptu, and we just kind of nerded out over cemeteries for about 20 minutes, and I hope you guys enjoy that. So please give him a thumbs up, like his stuff, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And so, until the next time, stay spooky, my friends, and I will see you in the next one.